Spence News Network, where I get facts, not nonsense. So, in health, no breaking news slide, because once again, we don't really need it. So, Robert Calif has been confirmed to be the FDA commissioner. This guy looks familiar. He was also Obama's FDA commissioner for the last year while he was in office. He's replacing acting FDA commissioner Janet Woodcock. So he was confirmed by a vote of 50 to 46. He was confirmed 89-4 when Obama was president. And the main oppositions to him were because of the way he handled the drug crisis as a pharmaceutical. That was one reason people opposed him. A lot of Republicans opposed him for his stance on abortion. But yes, no, a lot of party switching. He was confirmed by a vote of 50 to 46. No, he was confirmed 89-4 when Obama was president. So I've underlined all the party switches from it. So Roy Blunt, Richard Burr, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, and Mitt Romney are the 5 Republicans that decided to cross party lines and accept it. However, Richard Blumenthal, Maggie Hassan, Joe Manchin, Ed Markey, and Bernie Sanders were the 5 people that also crossed party lines. I'm counting Bernie as a Democrat because, well, just for the simple reason that he caucuses with the Democrats. I found a funny line that Sanders, in an article on Sanders was furious at his more conservative colleague, but to be fair, all of Sanders' colleagues are more conservative than he is. So yeah, and it's weird, but also showing that partisan politics still is. So yeah. So remember back in April 2020 when everybody was saying flatten the curve, flatten the curve. Well, now everybody's like, don't flatten the curve, keep dropping, keep dropping. The curve is starting just to flatten a bit. Cases are still down a monumental amount, 66% in the last 14 days, down to all the way now. They're under 200,000. And New York Times dropped my county a risk to high risk for unvaccinated people, very high risk, but from extremely high risk. So yes, hopefully this is last. There's a new cool statistic called in ICUs. So a lot of declining ICU beds as well, which is good. And yeah, no, so good news. I think that hopefully, fingers crossed, this is the last wave of COVID, but we're not sure. So, a 2024 election scenario. So I said I'd do 1 or 2 of these every month. People to judge Mike Pence. And so this is interesting for a number of reasons. Obviously, it's liberal versus conservative. But also, not just that, but let's get into it. So the first reason, they are both from the Midwest, and I think that they would both have a very wide appeal in states like Michigan, Wisconsin. In the 3 states that are probably most essential to winning a presidency at this point, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. So I would give Pence 2 of these states. However, I would give Pete Georgia, albeit by a very, very slim margin, just because I think Georgia is growing more Democratic. And so, yeah, that. So it's a 276 to 262. That would be the final, from my perspective. I think that one key thing to implicate, and the reason why, is despite the fact that Georgia is growing so Democratic, Mayor Pete has absolutely no support with black voters whatsoever, which I think would make it quite difficult for them to support him. And I think that just black turnout would be reduced, unless they would be motivated to vote for a third-party candidate. But yeah, Minnesota and Michigan, Dem. So it's a 2-2 split on those 4 key states. But yeah, I think that Pence would sneak this one out, just because I think that there's this large population, like Republicans are still going to vote for a Republican. And I think that he could win the primary just because there's still this large population of Republicans that think like him, and maybe if there are too many pro-Trump Republicans, maybe Pence could be the anti-Trump. So it's just an interesting thing to think about. Also, Mayor Pete may be the #1 option for Democrats if Biden and Harris's approval ratings are still low. The one counter is that he's really unpopular with black voters. But yeah, I think that this would be an interesting election. I think a very stressful one, because I think it would be quite tight, but be an interesting one to see play out. So, Olympic medal count. So this is based on gold medals, so excuse the fact that Russia is 9th and has 20 medals, so rightfully they should be in 2nd, but yeah. So the Norwegians lead, and if anybody's wondering, Norway is such a small country, how is it leading? Well, high GDP, so they make a lot of money, and it's like a wintry nation. It's north, so so Norway, Germany, U.S. I'm poking that in the overall medal count we can finish 2nd. We're 9 back in Norway with a few days to go, so fingers crossed. USA, 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 USA. I'm gonna give you one athlete of the games, Chloe Kim. I mean, just because of her snowboarding. I saw that live on TV. One of the few Olympic events I've watched. It's our first run before going to bed. It was a 94, and I was like, for a first run, that has got to be the best thing I've ever seen. China coming behind. Eileen Gu has helped with that. The Russia doping scandal. So I'm not sure what it is on that. She got a gold, but she's not allowed to earn any medals. So that's a bit of a complicated one. Austria, that was a sleeper, but they're doing quite well. They're tied for 4th. But yeah. The new F1 car. So I will try and truthfully cover F1. I kind of took a hiatus from the channel. I had a lot of points last year, but dun 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 dun, dun revealed. So there were 5 cars. So the McLaren. So I put all of them. So if you want to pause the video and look at them, I'm just going to give a quick rating for each of them. The McLaren I give a 7.5. I like the blue. Red Bull, and this is completely unbiased, an 8. I like it. Now, one thing to note about Red Bull is that they did not add any of their design features, however the other teams get. This is a generic 2022 car, so they didn't want to give anything away to their rivals. Aston Martin, that's a solid 6.5. I don't like the green coming around the car. Search up Aston Martin side images. I like the car, but I also don't. Sorry, that there's an alarm. And then I'll shut it off. And then the AlphaTauri, I give it that a 7 as well. It's a nice car. It's got that nice white and navy blue feeling. And then the Haas is just generic Russian flag, so I gave the AlphaTauri 7. I give the Haas a 3. So comment down below which is your favorite, because I think that it's very interesting. This has been another presentation of Finn's News Network, where facts, not nonsense. Thank you for watching.